Get ready for one of the most popular animals in the reptile hobby. It's the ball pythons. Take a look at this posture. I know it seems menacing, but trust me, it's purely to be defensible. These pythons are found in very humid environments, primarily the jungle, and as babies they stick to the ground. However, as adults, they could be found in trees. Now let's not waste any more time. I know what you guys are thinking. Can we pet it? And the good news is that yes, we can. Like all reptiles, they do display some form of social anxiety. It doesn't really look like he likes these pets, mostly because in the wild there's nothing that comes close to this. They are solitary creatures. And they'll tolerate it momentarily. I'm sorry. He's upset, so if I give him some space and come back, it looks like he'll perk back up. These are ambush predators, meaning they like to wait and hide for the perfect opportunity to strike. Trust me when I say this though, they are perfect pets and offer no threat to people, although that doesn't stop them from looking scary. Do you see how they're flicking their tongue? There's something called the Jacobson's organ that's allowing the reptile to transfer information like pheromones from the air around it directly to the animal's brain. Here, let's see if we can find one of them. They can be pretty good at hiding, but one of their favorite spaces is up high. Or in these little hideaway rocks that I've made. Yes, they're just towels, but here, let's see if I can get this guy before he slips away. He thinks he's clever. Oh, and he just got away. Dang, now I gotta go fish him out. Here we go. Alright, well, they can be really slippery, and they seem to always be conniving to get out of their enclosures. They are the most natural explorers in my collection. Let's take a look at their environment. They like to use this large body of water. Sometimes they like to submerge themselves fully and stick out their noses to breathe. But for now, he's relaxing like it's some kind of bayside pool. Call me crazy, but I do really think reptiles make for some pretty creatures. There's something elegant about them. And look at that pattern. I've heard it described in so many ways. It's like a Rorschach test. Some people describe little aliens, and I think that's fun. Now look, he is so important for reptiles as they are cold-blooded, and to do their bodily functions, they need to get their warmth from the environment. Okay, wait, before we get back to that, let me show you how large they get. Up to 4 to 6 feet large. Yeah, that's why a 4x2x2 or 120 gallon enclosure is the bare minimum for them. They definitely deserve something better than racks in 2025. I once sold someone a ball python and had to buy it back from them because they kind of described it as a pet rock. And look, while I understand the sentiment, I think this largely stems from misunderstanding them. They like it warm, humid, and in the dark. You can see them moving around mostly at night, but as you can see here, during broad daylight, they can also be interested. There's a lot of ways you can interact, and at the end of the day, they're pretty chill. What more can you ask for? That's really why I appreciate reptiles. They never really demand your attention. You can leave them alone as long as you like. They don't need your interaction, although I'm sure sometimes it can be appreciated. Fun fact, there is a ball python temple in Africa, and in the wild, sometimes it can be found hugging together, just like right now. Although you gotta know, when reptiles are congregating together like this, they're not hugging or cuddling, but instead are typically competing for resources. Although, sometimes snakes just like to coil up together. They even like coiling up with themselves. Makes them feel protected. These are why they're called ball pythons, as look at the shape, it's a big ball. At the end of the day, these are just little babies that I have on my hands. And that's what I see them as, little cute bald-headed babies. Alright, we're gonna shift gears and get to feeding them. That's why I lay them out on this table. So here, let's get their spouse. I have a male and female pair, and I'm betting this is the male. Here we go. Yoink. As you can see, here are their personalities at work. While one wants to be timid and hide, the other one's already yearning to explore. I I do like the shapes they make. Always gotta keep an eye on them, of course. This is the same one they got out earlier. That's why it is important to take your reptiles out, as they can't spend their whole lives in their enclosure. They got places to see, things to smell, bushes to hide in. Here's the signature ball. Looks quite cozy if you ask me. But okay, here we go. Content warning, live feeding, there is blood, a little bit of gore. You've been warned. Click off now. Alright, thank you to everyone that stayed. Here we go, this is how you do it. You get your local rats from any store, warm up some water in the microwave to be really hot, and I used to put these guys in a plastic bag in the water, that way they don't get wet, but I find they like it much warmer, and with the plastic bag it's uneven. So first, I wipe them off, that way it's not too wet, don't want any soggy food, and then you gotta dangle it in front of them. Really be the rat, imagine yourself the rat. Oh no, please don't eat me. Dang, move them around. Oh, had a little bit of a misfire there. That's okay. You just gotta keep trying. Oh, beautiful. Here goes the second one. How well will they fare? Make sure to do some unpredictable patterns. It really triggers their instincts. Oh, you almost have it. Here we go. Almost there, be patient. And nice. That is quite a strike. Yeah, also very gross, I will admit. What's interesting is that these guys can detect heat, so the warmth of the rat is what really also allowed them to find their prey. Doing it cold won't do it for them. They like to really feel like they're attacking and eating something that's alive. Which, yes, is terrible. I gotta say, I actually like rodents. I don't see them as large of pests as most people do, and so that's why I never feed them live, as honestly it feels a little cruel to the mouse. Not to mention that live feeding can be dangerous for your snake. People underestimate just how strong rats can be. Keep in mind that pythons are constrictors. Their mouth isn't full of sharp teeth, that way they can make room to swallow their prey whole. And would you look at that? They eat at different speeds. My male certainly is a more ferocious eater, but that's okay. There's no rush here. Another reason why I really recommend these guys is the fact that they're just so low maintenance. Depending on who you ask, you can feed them once, twice a week, or every 2 weeks. They're great for beginners, and you don't really gotta see this all the time, which is nice, but some people actually find it kind of fun. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you find this to be absolutely grotesque or interesting. And there it goes, to slowly be passed through its body. Now look, I don't really recommend feeding your pythons close together. It's good to give them some space that way there's no injuries for competition when it comes to food. But I think these two really do enjoy each other's company. I don't think reptiles are capable of love, but they certainly get used to one another and can show an appreciation. So, here we go. We're gonna put them back and let them go back to exploring their environment. Not for some pets, of course. A lot of people think they're slimy. Really, they're just kind of silky smooth. They're definitely a lot kinder when it comes to pets than the day geckos. That's for sure. Thanks for watching REDtrograde, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe.